All right, what the hell is going on with the Bitcoin? Are we even going to have a retrace? Are we just going to keep going straight up? Are we really going to break $100,000? I'm going to answer that question in this video. And I'm going to give myself an 82% chance of being totally right. It's like 3:30 in the morning my time. I'm not even wearing any pants, but I'm going to explain this to you. Look, right now, Bitcoin has literally zero retail interest. Can you read this? Can you see this? I'm just using my, anyway. But the weird part is Bitcoin has been pumping super hard, and you got guys like this using one single wallet, like a total noob, absolutely total noob. He's just using one single wallet, not even disguising his buys. And literally every day or two, he's buying 250 BTC, which is about $9-10 million worth of Bitcoin. This one was a pretty decent buy at 7 million, but then $8 million. As he buys more, it gets more expensive. So 250 Bitcoin literally every on the 13th, the 14th, the 16th twice, and then the 17th. All the while, the public isn't even talking about this. This isn't even in the news media. Plus the fact that all the big influencers on crypto Twitter are saying, I'm expecting a big retrace. We should probably take profits right about now. It reminds me of 2017 when Bitcoin hit like $2,000 or something. When Bitcoin hit 2,000, and remember it went up to $20,000. When Bitcoin hit $2,000, all the influencers back then on crypto Twitter said, "Whoa, we hit $2,000. It's time to take profit. This is incredibly high. It's overbought." And then it hit $20,000. It went up 10 times higher than when people said, you should take profit. This is a ridiculously high price. It's super overbought. So that means that if the same thing happens here at $40,000, Bitcoin could go up to $30,000 to $40,000. If it's proportional. If it's proportional, I don't know if it'll be proportional or not, but I do think that Bitcoin is going to keep going up. Here's my biggest problem with this, is that stocks are not healthy right now. The U.S. stock market and the global stock market are having a hard time at resistance. And whenever you have a hard time at resistance, unless you just fly through resistance, you're going to dump. You're going to dump back. And this particular dump is steep. It's a big potential dump on the stock markets. And yes, Bitcoin has pumped through major stock market dumps just recently. There's been an inverse correlation. But will there be still, if the U.S. stock market dumps like 20%, will Bitcoin really go up 1,000% more than it is now? That's really hard to say, but it's safe to say that if you do a 2x long, you're probably going to make a lot of money because, well, can't they still dump on you? Can't they still dump really big? Here's the $1 million answer to the $1 million question. If that guy, that institution that just puts everything on one wallet, 250 Bitcoin a day, is an institution, they're not going to sell that Bitcoin on the open market the same way they bought it on the open market in Coinbase. They're not going to sell it unless it's just Michael Saylor. If it's just Michael Saylor doing it, then we got problems. But if it's really a top 5 financial institution like Fidelity or even JP Morgan or someone really big like that, if it is, then they're not going to sell to anybody except their own clients. And when they sell to their clients, they're not going to sell in a way that it creates dumping pressure. They're going to sell in very small mitigated tranches. So, but okay, so they're not going to dump. Well, can't somebody else dump on us? That's the $1 million answer to the $1 million question. There is nobody else left to dump on you. There's no Suzu. There's no curly hair Jewish guy. What's his name? Anyway, there's no Alameda. There's no Three Arrows Capital. There's none of those guys to dump on you really hard. So those guys took investor money and said, "Hey, I guarantee you, you're going to get 500% your money in a month." That's literally what they said, and that's how they got so much money, and that's why they had to keep dumping. So Bitcoin would go up and then dump, and then it would go up and then dump. Your altcoins would go up and then dump because they had to return the money to their investors that they promised, which is why they're in jail. And they don't exist in the market anymore. So there's really nobody left to dump on you. So will it keep going up? Yes, it will keep going up. I just don't like the environment with stocks. If stocks were bullish and Bitcoin's bullish, great. So that's the only caveat to this. Would I put my own money in a Bitcoin long? Would I put all my money in a Bitcoin long? I personally, my personality, my temperament wouldn't allow me to, because I don't like holding on to things that I can't measure the odds of it going up or down. For instance, because I have an algorithm that determines what's going to happen to Bitcoin in the future, and whenever I can tell whether it's going to go up or down, like I can just leverage long the thing, 500x leverage, and like make 300% and 500% profit on my money in minutes, literally minutes. So I don't have to wait weeks to try and make 1,000% profit when I can make 500% profit in 2 minutes. So I wouldn't do it personally, but if you're not going to scalp with us, if you're not going to do real rapid trading, high-speed derivatives trading with us, longs and shorts, then you might as well just hold Bitcoin, or even do a 2x Bitcoin long. And if there are any big dips, I would just buy the dips and add to your 2x long. Would be the smart strategy. Except the U.S. stock market is still bothering me. For updates on whether this is going to keep going up, or whether that big wallet, everything really hinges on that big wallet. Because if it is a top 5 institution, they're not going to dump it. They're not going to sell. They're buying to accumulate, and then they're buying to trickle sell it to their own internal customers. That's what they're doing. They're not buying it to dump it back on the market in Coinbase. That's not what they're doing. That's not how institutions work. So follow me on Twitter, OTC_Bitcoin, for updates to this if anything changes, and for real time, literally for real time up and down signals, and leverage long and leverage short signals 24 hours a day, you can join me at ko-fi.com/OTC_Bitcoin.